Welcome back to Power and Politics. I'm John Craven. For people who don't know, how does the system work? Well, Della, it is still a mess out here in Stamford. We are on North Street, and this road is flooded all over again. And let me show you why. It's because city crews right behind me are pumping out a lot of water from a parking garage that flooded. Using these machines is actually pretty simple. You just walk up, tell it what you want to do, scan your license, and grab a ticket. There is ice out there, and it's coming. Now let's take a look at power outages, because so far we've been pretty lucky. Even though there's a lot of pink on this map so far, most of our outages are again in that far northwestern corner of Litchfield County. This was the last opportunity to delay tomorrow's elections in Bridgeport. Well, now we shift to a humanitarian crisis. More than 100,000 people have fled Afghanistan. Well, just look at the numbers. In Connecticut, about half the kids are students of color, but most of those students are crammed into just 9 school districts. You're out here on the platform and your phone works just fine, but you get on this train and you get out there on the tracks, ooh, it is a different story. Why should my kids be forced to go to school with kids who are not vaccinated?
Well, kids who are not vaccinated do not pose a threat.
I'm going to pitch you on a new show because you have Raving Ryan.
Yes.
I'm thinking you and I could maybe team up on a podcast. Craven Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Here at the state capitol, lawmakers really want to put COVID in the rearview mirror, but this mass debate, it is not going away. Today, protesters made that loud and clear. They may be a minority, but they're a loud one. These protesters want Connecticut to drop all school mask rules.
My son is a freshman in high school, and he's miserable. He hates school.
They want state lawmakers to reject 11 of Governor Lamont's COVID orders. The vote happens Thursday.
Divide your answer by 3.14.
The most controversial order would let the state education department bring back a statewide mask mandate even after it ends in 3 weeks. Why not just let parents make this choice for their kids?
Because at the end of the day, we've tried to allow scientific experts to tell us what works best.
Governor Ned Lamont.
Also today, Governor Lamont delivered his first in-person State of the State speech in 2 years.
3 years ago, we were standing at the edge of a fiscal cliff, facing a $3.7 billion budget deficit, and today we're deciding what taxes to cut.
Lamont wants $336 million in tax cuts, including the hated car tax. To combat crime, he wants to spend $72 million. There's $500 million to boost the state's safety net, and $250 million for COVID tests and PPE.
He's increasing a lot of spending and has implemented gimmicks to get around the spending cap.
He's talking about adding 500 police officers. The city of New Haven is down 100 by themselves. You've got officers working 80 hours a week with no break.
And these protesters have one message for the governor. The COVID emergency needs to end.
I feel like enough is enough.
Well, certainly no rest for the weary up here. Lawmakers will be right back here tomorrow to vote on all 11 of Governor Lamont's COVID orders. We will see if the protesters are here to greet them. That's the latest here in Hartford tonight. John Craven, News 12, Connecticut. Well, Della, it is still a mess out here in Stamford. We are on North Street, and this road is flooded all over again. And let me show you why. It's because city crews right behind me are pumping out a lot of water from a parking garage that flooded. This is what the day after an historic flood looks like. The calm after the storm,
I thought, wow, this is probably an event.
is a day of sounds.
This is my go-to park and my go-to river.
The still rushing Rippewam River.
I've never seen it like this.
Workers clearing out mud.
It's a disaster what happened last night.
A lot of water, a lot of cars.
And tow truck drivers clearing away cars.
Trying to keep up with all of them and get the roads opened up for the police.
This parking garage filled up like a bathtub.
Right across the street, that garage.
Overnight, a mad scramble to higher ground.
We put an announcement on the speaker for every tenant to hear it. You got to move, get your cars out of there because we're gonna get flooded right away.
Across Stamford, police rescued 18 people, 1,800 911 calls.
It looked like a river towards the Morgan Street.
The light of day revealing the aftermath.
My gym bag and all that stuff was damaged.
Riley Bloth spent the day fishing water out of her car.
Yeah, with a Ziploc container. Just wasn't prepared. I don't think I've ever experienced this.
But as bad as this is, it could have been worse. 15 years ago, the Army Corps of Engineers took down an old dam and lowered the flood risk.
This could have been, we could have been talking 1955 if that project hadn't been done.
But with climate change, some say it's time to head to higher ground.
I never considered it time to move, and now I think it actually is a question.
And we actually had to move to higher ground ourselves this afternoon because of all of this water. This pump can take out 1 million gallons of water in 12 hours, and it'll take all of that and more to get that parking garage cleared out.
News 12 Connecticut's John Craven in Norwalk with a story you'll see only on 12.
Well, Della, most restaurants like these are following the law. They are only doing delivery and takeout. But our investigation discovered some places apparently think the rules don't apply to them.
Hi.
Hi.
We're closed, dude.
Hi.
Get off my property.
Okay, can we talk to you about why are you serving food illegally? That's the owner of Tony's Huntington Inn in Bridgeport. Just moments after they served us a meal of pasta and 2 beers inside at the bar, in spite of their own rules posted on the door, and in direct violation of Governor Lamont's ban on indoor dining, designed to stop coronavirus from spreading. This was Tony's explanation.
I thought you were starving. I can't refuse anybody who's starving. You tricked me.
Tony's told us they were following the law because there were only 5 people inside. Not so, says Governor Lamont.
Because right now it is strict. It is strict that food is just for takeout. Rules are not worth much unless they're followed and obeyed.
5 days earlier, we watched one customer stay for more than an hour, and this couple dined for almost 2.5 hours. But Tony's isn't alone. The State Department of Consumer Protection has gotten 72 complaints about indoor dining violations. Norwalk police cited Dry Dock Bar and Grill for serving a customer beer inside.
We have not been operating like a normal bar since the shutdown, no.
Dry Dock's owner says it was a one-time mistake. He says the customer was waiting for takeout.
Now listen, we were in the wrong for that, and I want to make it very clear to the police department and anybody out there that the police did nothing wrong.
Back at Tony's Huntington Inn, off camera, the owner claimed Bridgeport police have visited here several times, but only did a cursory investigation. A city spokesperson says they forwarded our questions to the appropriate departments. Now, state regulators say they're mainly interested in just getting restaurants to comply instead of punishing them. But if they do see a pattern of violations, a restaurant can lose its liquor license. In Norwalk, John Craven, News 12, Connecticut.